first half. And when you're not shooting the ball well from deep, you got to find other ways to generate points. That's the obvious. It's twos and ones. You got to be able to make tough layups and tough contact finishes around the bucket and your free throws. And tonight we left a lot of points at the free throw line, left a lot of points in the paint. Our defense, we're analytically and statistically all that the best defensive team right now in our league. But we're just not scoring the ball. In the last several games, we scored, 60 here tonight. It was 65 or 66 the other night against Liberty and 58 against Jack State. Even the Missouri State game, I think we had 68 at the end of regulation. It just puts a lot of pressure on your defense to be perfect, to try to hold teams in the, high 50s or low 60s to win games. So we've just got to keep working it on that end of the floor, particularly, and, step up to the line with confidence, start making some tough shots around the bucket, generate points. And that's the name of the game. You got to score it. And, again, we're defending pretty well. We did parade them to the free throw line, which their team came in basically averaging like 26 free throws a game, almost like 19 for 26 from the free throw line per night on average. And they go 8 for 10. We got to the line a lot more. We out rebounded them. We just didn't put the ball in the basket. And so we gotta do a better job there. Questions?
What's the diagnosis? I mean, you're in the heart of conference schedule now. Yeah. Are opposing defense just figuring you out, or are you just not executing?
A little bit of both. Great question on the why. There are times where we flub up the play. That's part of it. If you're struggling to score it, you can't have more turnovers than the opponent. It's not like we had 19 of them, but when you only force 8 and you have 12, then now you're already on the downside. You're going to really have to out-rebound on the offensive end your opponent to have more scoring opportunities. So you're not shooting it well at a great percentage. You've got to generate more scoring opportunities. That's either by really turning the other team over, taking care of the ball yourself, hopefully both, and so that you're generating a lot more opportunities for yourself to score. And, it's teams figuring out how to guard certain guys and based on the first 20-something games here. And then, being able to really dominate the offensive glass or have fewer turnovers than your opponent.
It felt like there was a considerable effort to get in the paint tonight for a team that defends the rim particularly well. I mean, is that something that was an emphasis for this game in particular?
Particularly based on the way the game changed after about the first 7 or 8 minutes of the first half. You could tell they were just going to be really physical with our perimeter players, be up in the ball. Don't let them get loose and easy drives, nothing loose and easy from 3. Well, if you're not going to ever put any pressure on the rim with hard rolls or tough drives, then you're going to stay on the perimeter the whole night with guys up in you. And so when guys get overly aggressive, which they were for a while, then now you got to back them off by going by him or back them off by hard drive and the ref calling a foul. And now you've got to back off of that a little bit. So now your perimeter offense gets going, but you can't just keep staying on the perimeter and never go by somebody if what they're doing is crawling up under you and playing real physical defensively.
Mar, you scored a career high tonight, 25, but I think more impressively, only 2 3-pointers. I would have thought you would have done a lot more damage from beyond the arc, but how more comfortable are you with being in the paint, scoring the basketball?
Coach tries to emphasize on me a lot, using my size and my strength. 9 times out of 10, I might have somebody smaller than me. So just been trying to work on that. I just felt like I came in the game just confident and aggressive and assertive. I feel like that's the main thing. I was being assertive. I wasn't questioning what I wanted to do. Whatever decision I made, I went with it. And I feel like that was the result.
Luke, I'm interested in your storyline down low. Obviously, a lot of pressure, filling shoes of seasons past. How have you kind of addressed that mentally? And tonight, again, a more physical presence from you.
I think I just got to be myself. Play hard every night. Try to rebound and then dump the ball and just continue to play hard.
It's been 3-game losing streak now. You still have another one at home next week. As a guy that has been in this locker room, what does it take as a group to kind of get out of this slump?
We just got to come together. I mean, really, that's it. timely errors, I think, especially the rebounding. So just gotta watch the film.
Chris, how do you spark the offense without losing that statistically number one defense in the conference?
I think we just gotta set harder screens and cut hard and just play together. Really.
Coach, we talked about the intensity of this game on Thursday. How did you see the first year group of guys step up to that tonight?
I thought they were. I told them this yesterday after practice. I thought we had a good practice yesterday. I thought our shoot around was good. Our start was good. The difference, a little bit like what Chris said, is when guys get real physical with you on the defensive end of the floor, your offense has to get more physical. You do have to set harder screens. You do have to cut harder. So when guys are kind of tugging and grabbing and holding a little bit, well, if you're slow, nobody looks like it's hindering your progress. You know, if we're just walking together and I'm holding Chris's arm, in a bear hug, well, if we're just walking down the hallway, but it doesn't look like me holding onto your arm. It looks like I'm hindering your progress. We're just sauntering down the hallway together. We're just holding each other's hand and holding each other's arms. But when you try to take off and somebody's holding you, it's clear to everybody we're just holding them back. But if your cuts are slow and you're not trying to really get somebody else open, fouls aren't going to be called, and you're not going to get away from defenders. So now you're always playing in traffic. Good offensive players play in space. Good offensive teams play in space. You have to create space for yourself. So it's hard cuts, physical screens, getting up and down the floor when you get defensive stops. We got a lot of stops tonight. They missed 40 shots. You should have more than 4 fast break points. You got to get out and go. Where you're struggling to score the ball versus tough physical defense, there's a way to avoid that. Get defensive rebounds and go. Let's play 3-on-2 in the open floor and in space. We did not respond to how physical they got for too long a stretch.
Good. Thanks, y'all.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.